Welcome to this yoga practice. This is a foundational class and I've called it Welcome to Sadhana. So it's about cultivating a regular practice in your life of yoga. Welcome. If you'd like to lie down on your mat, you can take your legs apart, relax your feet out to the sides, take your arms away from your body and turn your palms up to face the sky. Take a deep breath in. And exhale and let go with a soft sigh. And again. And as you lie here, begin to deepen your breath and welcome your breath into your body. And welcome yourself to your mat and to this precious space that you've created. Ian Thomas wrote that every day the world will drag you by the hand, yelling, "This is important. No, this is important. You really need to worry about this and that." And each day it's up to you to yank your hand back and put it on your heart and say, no, this is what's important. So keep deepening your breath. Guide it into the belly space. And exhale and relax any tension that you can find in your physical body. And relax any tension from your day that's come with you to your mat. Begin to extend your out breath and enjoy the sensation of the belly drifting back down towards the spine. Each in-breath is an opportunity to revitalize, to restore. And each out-breath, a precious time of letting go. When you're ready, on the next out breath, roll on your heels and take your big toes in towards each other. Inhale and roll on your heels and take the outer edges of your feet towards the mat. Keep working with this, exhaling, rolling the thighs inwards, toes towards each other. Inhaling, rolling outwards through the thighs, little toes towards the mat. As you get comfortable with this, you can bring your hands into work in unison. On the out breath, turning the palms down to face the floor as the toes go in. On the in breath, opening the palms wide to the ceiling as the feet roll out. Breathe slowly and breathe deeply. Try not to hold the breath at the top or the bottom. One more time each side. And when you find yourself with the feet relaxed out and the palms open, release that work. Bring your knees up towards your chest. Take your hands to your knees and just take a moment to roll your knees in a circle, freeing up your lower back. Go one way for a bit and then change direction, go the other way. And then be still. Just strengthening up your center. Bring your arms beside your body, palms facing down, and spread your lower ribs and your lower back towards the floor and imprint them into the ground. Squeeze your legs and the inner edges of your feet lightly towards each other. Keeping the back on the floor, exhale and slowly take the toes down to kiss the floor behind the bottom. Inhaling, bringing the knees in towards the chest. Exhaling, feet towards the floor behind the bottom. Inhaling, knees in towards the chest. All the time, imprinting your spine into the ground. If you want a little bit more, you can take the heels a bit further away from the bottom. If you need to rest, then you can just drop the feet to the floor for a moment. Those of you who are familiar with Mula Bandha, you can lift up through the pelvic floor to offer yourself more support and stability internally. One more. And then you find yourself with the knees up towards your chest. Rest there. You can slide your hands up to shoulder height now with your palms facing up. Squeeze your knees lightly together. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take the knees to the right. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, lift your left hand up, take it on top of your right. Inhaling, open the arms. Exhale, left hand comes on top of right. Mobilizing the upper back now. Letting your gaze follow your left hand. Next time you find yourself with the arms open, rest there, take a breath in. Breathe out, press the left waist to the floor, bring the knees back to the center. Inhale. As you exhale, the knees go over to the left. Inhale, stretch from fingertip to fingertip. And exhale, take the left hand on top of the right. Inhaling, gaze follows the right hand as it returns to the floor. Exhale, right hand on top of left. Flowing with this. Next time you find yourself with the arms open, rest there, take a deep breath in, stretch from fingertip to fingertip, and exhale, roll onto your back. Take your feet to the floor behind your bottom, feet hip distance apart and the outside edges of your feet parallel. Bring your arms beside your body with your palms facing down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press your lower back into the floor and curl your pubic bone in towards your belly button, shortening the relationship between the top of your pelvis and your lower ribs. On the in-breath, relax that work. Exhale, curl pubic bone to belly button, push through your heels and float your bottom off the mat. Keep your knees in line with your ankles. Don't let them roll out. Take a breath in at the top. And as you exhale, keep your hips high for as long as you can and lower your spine down, bone by bone, until eventually the sacrum will soften on the earth. Inhale. Press down through the heels. Curl your pubic bone in and out. Breathe out and float up. Inhale at the top. Exhale down bone by bone. Breathing in at the bottom. And just keep working with this, using the out breath to float up and place back down, resting at the top and the bottom with an in breath. And rest there. Hands come in behind the knees. And inhale and roll up. Or if you need to roll to one side and come up, then do so. Once you're here, come onto your hands and your knees. Take your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. And sinking your bottom back towards your heels, walk your hands as far away from your sitting bones as you can. You're going to press down through the index finger knuckle and the thumb side of your hand, and you're going to extend from your elbow all the way into that index finger. You're then going to draw back from the outer armpit back towards the hip, relaxing the forehead down towards the floor or towards a block. Now the arms are active, the elbows are off the floor, and the outer armpit is wrapping down towards the floor. Take deep breaths in and slow releasing breaths out. Again, welcoming the breath into the body and settling into whatever shape, whatever asana it is you're doing with the out breath. And there's a real sense of beginning to move into the edges of your body and reclaim them. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, roll up onto your hands and your knees for Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Turn your toes under, float your knees off the mat and push your bottom back towards your heels. Feet are hip distance apart. You can bend your knees a lot if you like and really push back through the heels of your hands up into your hips, trying to get that straightness that you cultivated in your puppy dog here in your downward facing dog. Really let your head go. Pull your collarbones towards your feet and keep wrapping your outer armpit in. Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, press your right heel down towards the floor. Stay here, breathe. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, reach your left heel down towards the floor. Hang your head. Inhale high up on the tippy toes. Exhale, both knees down towards the floor. If you get tired at any stage, just drop the knees to the floor and sink the bottom back towards the heels and rejoin us whenever you're ready. So if you're still in downward facing dog or you've taken rest, join us back there. You're going to inhale and lift your right leg up towards the sky. Now take a moment to extend into the heel, point the toes down towards the floor. Enjoy the deeper stretch down through the back of the left calf. Inhale, come high on the left tippy toes. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Now if it doesn't quite get there, you can pick it up and lovingly take it forward. Drop the back knee to the floor. Release your hands. On the in-breath, reach your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, sink deep down through your hips. Have a sense of pulling the front heel and the back knee towards each other lightly. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, looking down, take your left hand down to the floor. Lift your back knee off the ground. And inhale and reach your right arm up. If it's too much with the back knee off the floor, just drop the back knee back down. Otherwise, stay here. Lean back, take your head back, keep your throat open. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. Deep breath in. Your drishti, your gaze is up towards your thumb. Slow breath out, really bright through the back knee. Inhale. And exhale, look down. Take the hand down to the mat. And when you're ready, you can step your right leg back, coming back into downward facing dog. Inhale high on the tippy toes and exhale, drop your knees down to the mat. Walk your hands back in towards your knees and take your hands to your back. Peel your elbows back. Press your shins down into the floor and lift up through your chest. Begin to lift your chin towards the sky. Lift your heart towards the sky. Stay there. Take 3 deep breaths in and out. Inhaling, pushing through the knees, come up. Exhaling, hands come to the mat, turn the toes under, float the knees off the mat and push back into downward facing dog. Feet hip distance apart, head hangs. Really energize from the heel of your hands up to your hips. Wrap your outer armpits down and just settle into the shape. Consciously polishing the breath so that it's a nice rounded breath with an even inhalation and an even exhalation now. On your next in-breath, lift your left leg up towards the sky. Reach into the heel, point the toes down to the mat. Keep long through the right-hand side of your body, through the left-hand side of your body. Trying to keep the waists the same length. Come high on your right tippy toe as you breathe out. As you inhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Remember to help it forward if needs be. Back knee to the floor. Releasing the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And sinking low through the hips. Pull the back knee towards the front heel and vice versa. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale, hand comes down. Right hand comes down to the floor. Back knee either lifted or down, your choice. Push down through your right hand and inhale and lift your left arm up towards the sky. Head back, reach up into the fingertips, out from the center of the chest into both hands. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, look down. Left hand comes down to the floor. And you're going to walk over to your right, setting your feet parallel with each other. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. If you need blocks, you can have blocks beneath your hands. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee, pressing outwards through the right knee, not letting it collapse in. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale, bend your left knee, enjoying that lovely stretch up through your adductors. And you're just going to flow backwards and forwards here. It might feel appropriate for you to stay a little bit longer on one side, matching that on the other side. Then inhale, come to stillness. Prasariti Padottanasana. You can take your hands either to your shins to keep them on the floor, or you can take the big toe lock. Inhale, look forward, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, come forward over your legs. And you're going to inhale and lift up from the inner knee up into the inner groin. And as you exhale, you're going to relax down through your spine. Let the head relax, the neck relax. Keep the legs strong, pull the muscles in towards the bones. Tip the weight forward towards the balls of your feet. Lightly lift your armpits up towards your side waist. And then just settle here. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come up to standing. And exhale and release. So we're going to do Trikonasana. So you're going to turn your right foot out and push your left heel away from you. And bring your shoulders to match the long side of your mat. On the in-breath, lift your arms up to shoulder height. Keeping the right leg straight, exhale, lean to the right and get really long in your right waist and your right arm. Release your right hand down to wherever's comfortable. And inhale and lift your left arm up towards the sky. Now the actions here are a pressing down through the ball of your right foot and into the heel of your left foot. And you send your tailbone down to the back heel, wrapping your right sitting bone underneath you as you work. And just supporting from the front abdomen with Uddiyana Bandha, lifting in and up through your lower belly. Connecting with your breath. To come out of the work, push down through your right foot, inhale, float up. And as you exhale, you're going to take your feet over to the left. Left foot turns out, right heel presses away from you. Bring your shoulders to match the long side of your mat. Lift up through your lower belly. Inhale, arms come up. And as you exhale, you're going to lean to the left. Lengthen the left waist, lengthen the left arm. Tailbone reaches towards the back heel. Left hand comes down to wherever's comfy. Inhaling, reaching right arm up towards the sky. Head back, deep breaths. Remember with each out breath to scoop in and up through the lower abdomen. Gaze up towards your top thumb. Pressing down through your left foot. Inhale, come on up. And as you exhale, you're going to step to the front of your mat. Set your feet hip distance apart for your standing forward bend. Hands come to your hips. Lightly pull the muscles in to support your bones. on your legs. Elbows back, inhale, heart lifts. On the out breath, scoop in and up through your lower belly and come over your legs. If you need a soft bend in the knees, then that's fine. Otherwise, just taking the hands down the backs of the legs, holding the backs of the calves. Or if you're happy here, you can take the big toe lock, wrapping the first 2 fingers around the big toe. On your in-breath, look forward, lengthen through the spine. And on the out-breath, scoop in and up through the lower belly and come over your legs. Widening your sitting bones behind you. Tipping the weight forward towards the balls of the feet. If the knees have got a bend in them, then the action is a light lifting up through the sitting bones until eventually one day the legs will be straight or with a very micro bend in them. And breathe. No tension in the neck. Inhale, look forward. Release your feet. Hands can come to the floor for support. Take your feet wider apart. We're going to come down into a squat. So dropping the weight down into the heels, come down into the squat. Now it may well be that your heels don't come to the floor. And so you've got a couple of options there. Traditionally, I used to just ask people to roll up their mat and make a little bit of height and then come down. And that might work better for you. It may well be that you need to take your feet a bit wider. I quite often see people trying to do it with their feet a little bit too close together. So maybe set your feet a bit wider. And it may well be that your feet turn out lots to start with. And you can begin to bring them, tame them a little bit and bring them in over time. This is a practice, this is a sadhana. It's going to work for you for many years, so there's no rush. And once you're there, you can bring your hands together in front of you and you can begin to lift your heart. There's a quote, I think it's by Rumi, he says, "Submit to a daily practice. Your loyalty to that is a ring at the door. Keep knocking and eventually the joy inside will look out and see who's there." Okay, and then from here, we're going to take the hands to the mat and we're going to step the feet back and come down to lie on your belly. We'll work with Sphinx, so take your elbows just in front of your shoulders, feet are hip distance apart, and maybe just have a wobble through your legs and just find the place where the femur bone, that big bone in your thighs, can rest between the quadriceps. Point your toes behind you and try and have your heels in line with your shin and your foot. Inhale and begin to climb up the front of your spine. Anchor your hands and lightly pull on your hands and draw your thoracic spine forward to the front of your body. Keep your neck lifting out of the tyranny of your shoulders. And as you breathe out, soften your face. And then exhale and come forward. Taking one hand on top of the other hand, rest your forehead on your hands and relax here completely. Maybe take a couple of recovery breaths before coming to Bhujangasana, your cobra. So you position your hands underneath your shoulders with your fingertips in line with the ends of your shoulders. You lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling and then send the shoulders down towards the elbows to open the front body. Letting your thighs remain heavy on the floor. Inhale and pull your spine forward and begin to climb up the front of your belly. Looking forward, coming just as high as you comfortably can. Don't go beyond that comfortable place. Pull your elbows back, drop your shoulders down into your elbows and pull lightly on your hands. Send your toes back behind you. Press the tops of your feet lightly down into the floor. Keep your thighs heavy on the ground. Breathe right up into your upper chest. And exhale and slowly come down. Take a couple of recovery breaths here. Moving back up into Bhujangasana. Hands back under the shoulders. Lift the shoulders away from the ground. Press your thighs down. Lift your heart. Lift your gaze. Press lightly through your hands and come to your comfortable place. Pull your heart forward and take 3 deep breaths right up into the upper chest. Dropping the chin to the chest, push through your hands, float your bottom off the mat and take it back towards your heels. And just come into the pose of the child, relaxing the forehead down, relaxing the elbows down. And as you breathe here, try and get some real space across the back of your kidneys. A 360-degree breath. And as you breathe out, you're softening your face, you're softening your jaw, you're letting your tongue come away from the soft palate of your mouth. And when you're ready to come up to sitting, take a breath in. And as you exhale, slowly roll up, bone by bone, to kneeling. Hands come in front, turn the toes under, and roll over to a crouching position for Kakasana, for crow. Feet are together. Take the knees apart, and you're going to take the first 4 inches to the inner knee. And you can press out and you can press in. There's a mutual touch going on between the 2 limbs here. The hands come to the floor, shoulder width apart. And you're going to lift your bottom up, round your back, and begin to transfer the weight from the heel of the hands towards the fingertips. As you start to feel that, squeeze your knees into your arms, and you can float 1 foot up and down, the other foot up and down, or if you've nailed this, you can begin to bring both feet off the floor, squeezing the knees in, rounding the back, and coming up into Kakasana. Exhaling down. You can go back up into that. If you're still working towards this pose, one of the things you can do is actually take your feet a little bit higher. So you can have a block or a book and come up a fraction higher. Again, the setup is the same. Inner knee to the first 4 inches above the elbow. Hands shoulder width apart. Make a shelf for the knee to sit upon. Round your back, scoop in and up through your belly and come forward. Perhaps floating 1 or both feet off the floor. And exhale and come down. And we're going to come back to sitting. So the hands go behind you to help and sit down. You'll have your feet together. This is Bandha Konasana. You'll have your feet together and you might want to walk your bottom a little bit closer in towards your heels. Hold your feet, lift up through your spine, and just give yourself a moment to settle here. So the action is up through the spine on the in-breath and down through the shoulders, through the hips on the out-breath. So reconnect with your breath, and even inhalation and even exhalation. And as you exhale, you're going to tip your pubic bone forward into the space between your legs. Now don't take your chin to your chest. Keep your neck long and keep room for your heart space to come forward, for your chest space to come forward. Hafiz, who was a Sufi poet, wrote that, "Be kind to your sleeping heart. Take it out into the vast fields of light and let it breathe." You've got to give yourself space around the chest. Pubic bone tipping forward, coming just as far as you comfortably can. Extending from the hip into the knee with each out breath. Never forcing or straining. Straighten your arms, inhale, sit up. And exhale, hands to the knees and bring the knees lightly back towards each other. And you might want to just give yourself a little hug, coming into your cosmic egg, floating back onto the back of the sacrum, feet relaxed, and the forehead relaxing down towards the knees. A lovely feeling of space and lightness as if you were floating. And gently release. So, try and make sure you're in the first third of your mat or halfway down your mat for this. We're going to move into shoulder stand. So, lie down on your mat consciously and bring your arms beside your body with your palms facing down. You might want to come up with bent knees. So on an in-breath, roll your bottom off the mat and come to Vipariti Karanana, taking your legs to 45 degrees. Still a lot of the upper back on the floor. Hands matching each other on the back. Legs matching each other. Look up your legs, double check that the feet are doing the same thing. Now, if you're happy with this posture and you want to cultivate a little bit more internal strength, you can begin to work yourself up higher and higher until you come as vertical as you can. Keep pressing your head lightly down into the floor to keep your neck off the ground. Try and hold this for about 8 long, slow, deep breaths. Pressing your sacrum through your pelvis towards your pubic bone. And we're going to take the legs to 45 degrees once again. We're going to take the hands down to the mat to use as levers. And on an out breath, rolling the back down towards the ground. When the bottom gets to the floor, just simply bend your knees and release your feet to the ground, dropping your knees in towards each other. One hand to the belly, one hand to the lower back. One hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Just taking a moment here. Counter stretching Sarvangasana, shoulder stand with your fish, Matsyasana. Bring your arms beside your body with your palms facing down. Take a breath in. And on the out breath, roll your spine off the mat. Take one hand on top of the other hand underneath your back. Arms as straight as you can, elbows close. And then you're going to lie down on top of your arms and slide your hands side by side each other beneath your bottom. Extend your legs away from you, legs together. And inhale and sit up and look at your feet. And exhale, lift your heart to the sky and come onto the crown of your head. Now don't strain the back of your cranium. If you need to just tuck your chin in a little bit towards your chest, a centimetre, then do so. And then reinforce the action of the thoracic spine lifting up towards the breastbone. Try and breathe up towards the collarbones rather than into the belly. Finally, just dipping the pubic bone down to the space between your legs. Taking the time to align the outside edges of your body so that we begin to move into the edges of our person to awaken the sleepy, forgotten parts. Shining our light into the shadows. Shaking the dust and wiping away the cobwebs in the forgotten corners. Inhale, lift your head up. Exhale and lie down on your mat. Make any little movements that feel nice. Just begin to trust your intuition and honour those movements. Releasing the feet down to the floor behind your bottom. Walk your feet wide towards the edges of your mat and drop your knees in towards each other. One hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Consciously deepen your breath here. Inhaling for around a count of 5 or 6. And breathing out for around a count of 5 or 6. Using this ujjayi breath just to finalize the integration of breath, body, and mind. Using the practice of yoga to welcome a new awareness to how your breath and your body affect how you feel. Last few moments with this Ujjayi practice. Keep the breath deep. An even inhalation and an even exhalation. Perhaps a gentle sound in the back of your throat space. An audible reference that allows you to measure the evenness of the breath. And we'll just move into your Shavasana, into your final relaxation. Taking the legs apart, letting the feet relax out to the sides, and taking the arms away from your body with your palms facing up. Take a deep breath in. Relax here with a sigh. And again. Lying here, just take a moment to demonstrate to your body the difference between tension and relaxation. So draw your toes up towards your shins, flexing your feet, lift your arms off the mat just by an inch or so, and make tight, tight fists with your hands. Keep the tension in the legs, open the palms wide, inhale. And exhale and lie back down to the floor, relax your limbs. Work your face now. Inhale, screw up your eyes, screw up your mouth, make your face really small. Exhale, open the eyes wide and stretch out your tongue. And relax your face. Shine your attention down through your body, through your legs and into your feet. Relax your feet. Relax your calves and your knees. Relax your thighs and your buttocks. Relax your pelvis and your spine. Relax your arms and your hands. Relax your shoulders and your neck. Relax through your scalp. Let your brow be smooth. And all of the little muscles around your mouth to be relaxed. Let your tongue feel soft in your mouth and your throat space. The body is relaxed. The breath is calm. And the mind relaxes from the space between the eyebrows towards the back of your skull. Go to the edges of your skin, but don't try to step into anyone else's. Take up space in a way that feels right and good, and don't apologize for it. Be in your body and let it be your gateway to joy and adventure and everything that comes in between. Surrender to the contrasts that make you shiver with delight. Own your edges and visit them often. Teaching yoga is my vocation, my passion, and my pleasure. As more folk look to be self-sufficient in their practice, I've been asked to create yoga classes online as a resource for you. This is only possible through your ongoing support and generosity. If you use them, love them, and value them, then please consider supporting this work by a monthly subscription on my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/yogawithemma. Like, share, and subscribe the page with like-minded friends. Thank you for your support.